have a fascinating story, and it's one that has, I know your telling of the story has raised a lot of controversy for you in your life. We'll get to that in a moment, but just tell me a little bit about your story and beginning with your childhood.
Well, I just had a 1 in a million life. It's just a very strange experience. My mother was gay, so she raised me while she was in a relationship with the same woman from the time I was a baby to the time that I was 19. And at that point, my mother died. So I had this experience of growing up in what you could call a gay home in the 1970s and 1980s, when that was unheard of. Nobody really even spoke about it. And then I started in with the gay lifestyle at age 13, and I was pretty active in it, but then I fell in love with a woman when I was 28, and I came to Christ soon after that, and so I've been married and I have 2 kids. So I've been married since 2001. My life disproves the born gay idea, the idea that people are born gay and can't change, and then my life disproves the idea that gay parenting is totally fine. So I'm sort of a walking narrative bomb, and that was how I experienced a lot of my life. I kept very quiet after meeting my wife. I didn't speak publicly about any of these issues, but I had a religious experience around 2008 where I really felt the Lord coming to me and telling me, you know, I brought you out of a really dark situation, and now you have to pay me back. You know, you were bought, and you are here to serve me, and so you have to spread the Lord's gospel. And so I felt that I did have to go public and say, this is what happened to me, and this is what the truth behind these issues are. And it became really pertinent, really timely in 2012 when the debate about gay parenting heated up, and I published my first paper just openly discussing all of this. And after that, the floodgates opened, I think within about 4 hours of the publication of my essay on public discourse. There were well over 40 officials in California State University who were contacted, and people were demanding investigations. They were demanding my dismissal. They were demanding you know, disciplinary proceedings, all of these different things, because they said that it was hate speech.
That's amazing. So you just telling your personal story and your own reflections on your own experience growing up, it was considered to be hate speech and was treated that way.
It was, the truth is considered hate speech. The truth about the Bible, the truth about what the Bible really says. That's the thing, is that I think a lot of these things that they call hate speech are just truths that they don't want to face. I mean, they don't want to face up to what it really does to people when you're initiated into homosexuality at the age of 13.
So tell me about what you have experienced and frankly what you've suffered as a result of going public with your story of growing up, and then also with your story of coming out of the homosexual lifestyle to enter into a heterosexual marriage.
Well, right now these cultural debates are in a state of war. I think the 2 sides of the debate function like 2 different military operations, for lack of a better word. And their goal is complete annihilation of the enemy, and that's basically what I experienced. It's like having every single weapon thrown at you in the span of this short period of time. I obviously am no longer at that job. It was from 2012 until 2016 when I left. It was just 4 years of sheer conflict every single day. I would set foot on the campus. You know, there was a professor who sent me hot links to pornography in the email. I had things vandalized on my door, notes slipped under my door, obscene messages on my phone. The students started making up stories about me. I was under constant investigation. The administration turned against me. My colleagues all either betrayed me, or they just sort of stood back and they didn't say anything. Every time I was on Twitter or Facebook, I was just bombarded with all of this constant hostility. And then my friends from the past, one by one, all broke away. Most of my family, about 85% of my family, cut off contact with me. So it was just me, my wife, and my kids, and my church.
Why is it so threatening? Why is your story, your narrative, your experiences, why do you think they are so threatening to the left that they have to hound you everywhere you go?
I think homosexuality came into vogue because it was a left-wing ideal that cost people nothing. All people have to do is to say, I don't hate them, and they feel like heroes. But what that really shows is a total contempt for people who are actually in that community, because how are people doing in the LGBT community? They have incredibly high rates of eating disorders, anxiety, depression, suicide, steroid abuse, drug abuse, domestic violence, sexual assault. They're miserable.